How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I found an interesting video when I was scrolling through YouTube a couple nights ago, and it was a video of Richard Hammond reviewing my car, the BMW M Coupe. Of course, I have the Roadster. There's slight differences between the two, but I'm really interested in what he has to say about the car, just because, you know, who doesn't love Richard Hammond? Like, let's be real, man's a legend. So, just gonna be watching the video and, you know, cutting in here and there and just seeing what he thinks about the car. So I'm actually going to be reacting to two different videos here. I'm going to be reacting to the review he did on the 2000 BMW Coupe, and I'm also going to be reacting to him, you know, doing a thing where he was doing budget supercars or sports cars, and the car was actually in it. The car only has like a 2 to 3 minute section. He did do a review on the M Coupe versus the Audi TT Coupe. Of course, I owned an Audi TT in the past, and I currently own the M Roadster, which is, you know, the same thing, just a convertible. So I'm definitely interested in doing that review in the future. So if you guys are interested, make sure to let me know, because there'll be a video hopefully later down this week, because, I mean, might as well keep it related. So let's get right into this. Alright, so let's get right into this video. You guys are going to see the video on the screen, and I'm going to pause it in between, letting you know my opinions and everything, everything he's saying, and my little inputs. So let's get right into it.
And it is from Germany, a BMW Z3M. Are you familiar with them?
Yes, I'm familiar with the brand. I've never driven one. I've driven the 1.9.
Right.
Which was a bit
Very
tame, to be honest.
cars.
You're not smiling much when you see this, right? Well, look, it's a completely different car to the
Right.
1.9.
Exactly,
Honest,
exactly.
we wouldn't bung you in an ordinary Z3 compared to these two.
Right.
Really.
Well, it does promise astonishing power, yes.
This
I must
blue
admit.
And when
is
they M it
really
up, and
nice.
it's more than just a few tweaks. It's pretty significant changes.
Right.
Okay, well, you're going to find out for yourself, because I've got in my pocket the keys, if I can get these. Now, I should tell you, these are the keys to
Thank
a
you.
brand new car.
Right.
There's a reason for this. We did have a used version, which you would get within your budget, but we broke it really badly. Sorry. So we're going to use this brand new one, courtesy of BMW, but it will at least give you a flavour of the car, yeah?
I won't complain.
Right, let's give it a go.
Nothing beats the mechanical click of the door shutting. Like, it's like the G-Wagon. It sounds so
Well,
good.
this is our first car, the
Yep.
BMW
Can't replace that.
Z3M. Now, you know the score, we get a drive. Admittedly, it's probably not as long with the car as you'd really like, and you don't get to
True.
really put it through its paces, but you have a go.
Yes.
Immediate impressions, what do you think of it?
It's very tall. I think I mentioned to you that I've driven the 1.9 before,
Yes.
so this is certainly a step ahead.
An important
Big.
part of all of this is we're looking at these cars.
1.9 and
They're sensible,
3.2.
mature, responsible businessmen.
Yes.
But you are buying a toy here.
Yes.
So it's got to look right, hasn't it? Let's be honest. Posing is part of this. What about the image of this thing?
I think it says very sensible. It relies on people knowing it's an M, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
would be a concern.
that's
It's pretty
very true.
obvious
A
at the
lot of
back.
people
The
don't know
tailpipes looks really well.
about the car.
I suppose it's discreet more than anything. I would not have bought one on the basis of the 1.9, so I'm quite pleasantly surprised by this.
Oh, good. Well, it's probably been worth it having it in the mix today, just for that, just to make you look differently at the car that perhaps you'd have written off without thinking about. On the plus side, again, with this is because you occasionally like to romp off down to the south of France, don't you? You and your wife together.
Yes.
Reliability-wise, not a problem.
Well, that's it, of course. It's outstanding liability.
Yeah.
BMW, don't question it, do you?
Sure about this colour, personally.
No. Man, you never know. It could have been yellow.
It could have been yellow, could have been bright yellow. But Paul's test drive in our first car is nearly over, and whilst he enjoys the last few moments, Ian Royal has got more information on the car.
That is about it. That's where the review ends. Richard Hammond doesn't really talk a lot in this video. He just, like, the main key things, you know, they talk about when they're in the car. It is a completely different car than the 1.9 is, 100%. And like he said, it's a very discreet car, and a lot of people don't, you know, recognize it. And people who know what it is, who know it's an M car, are obviously going to be more attracted to it, and they're going to be like, they know, the people who know about the car know about the car, you know, basically. That being said, let's get into the review of the coupe, the M Coupe that he did. Alright, let's start this right up. Keep in mind, in the last video he was reviewing a 1998, and in this video he's doing a 2000 M Coupe. This was also 7 years ago now, so just for a time reference on when the video was, you know, out there. But let's get into this.
Like the Dodo, the Woolly Mammoth and the friendly bank manager, the Sports Coupe was seemingly extinct, lost forever with old favourites like the Jaguar E-Type and the Scimitar GTE. And then we, the car-buying public, regained an interest in buying.
One thing, he's going to talk about the coupe a lot in this video, and I'm aware of that. I did watch a little bit of the beginning. I haven't watched a lot about the end and like a lot about what he says about the car, but he does talk about the car as the coupe opposed to the Roadster. But I thought I would just, you know, watch the video and review it for you guys because they're very similar but very different at the same time, but they're based off of the same car, obviously. But yeah. Alright, let's get right back into this video then.
Quirky and thirsty but damnably attractive cars, and the Sports Coupe was reborn, and BMW are right in there with this, the M Coupe. Now usually manufacturers develop a Roadster from their hard-topped equivalent, a bit like taking the top off a boiled egg really, but not with the M Coupe. BMW did it the other way around. In fact, a group of super keen BMW mechanics stayed late and worked after hours to turn an early Z3 prototype into the Coupe's lines. Just because it's the work of the class swats, though, doesn't mean it's all square. Oh no, not at all. Before its recent facelift, the Z3 had been accused of being a bit too soft, particularly around the rear, even a bit girly. But certainly not the case with the Coupe. The blistered rear arches and big chromed exhaust are pure aggression.
Yeah,
subtle, it ain't. Outrageous, it is. And the SWAT
the
certainly
coupe
did let
tends
their
to be a
hair
little
down
bit
and
more
show us their
aggressive in
wilder
the rear
side
than the
when it came
Roadster
to
even does.
bonnet, where you'll find one of the world's finest engines. It's a straight six. It was first seen in BMW's M3 and in the M Roadster. Develops about 321 brake horsepower, which is a lot. It's the same, in fact, as the M3, but with less weight.
Yep.
The M Coupe has the advantage. You really do climb down into these leather-lined sports seats where you'll find there is electric adjustment fore and aft and for the height, and manual adjustment for the backrest. Now, smaller drivers will have no difficulty at all in finding a nice, comfortable driving position, but those over 6 foot might find it's a bit of a challenge in here in the headroom department.
So yeah, that is actually one thing I did notice. I'm 6 foot, and it's a little hard to fit in with the top up, and if you're a little bit taller than that, it is hard. It's a small car. It's very hard for a tall person to own that car, and especially in the coupe you don't have like any, or not in the coupe, in the Roadster you don't have like much space to back up because obviously that's where the top is sitting, so you can't back up too much either, so it's not made for tall people at all.
As you'd expect from BMW, the quality of the interior is right up there with the best. Chrome surrounds, the gear lever and the dials. You'll find air conditioning and a radio cassette player come as standard.
Obviously,
there are those who might say that in a £41,000 car they'd expect to find a compact disc player as standard as well, but I say that's rather missing the point. Let's not get too caught up on all the little bells and whistles here. Because this car is all about the potency of that straight six engine. Unusually for a car manufacturer, BMW make quite a conservative claim for the 0 to 60 time of about 5.7 seconds, whereas in the dry, times of under 5 seconds have been recorded. And if the Autobahn is long enough and your nerves are strong enough, you'll hit 155 miles an hour before the rev limiter cuts in.
In the US, it's limited to 135. It's the same for the Roadster, except in the US they limited it.
In top gear, 50 to 70 miles an hour takes just 6 seconds. A Lotus Esprit GT3 takes 8.3, and even BMW's own mighty M3 7.9 when completing the same test. All of the controls are precise and fingertip light, and there's plenty of feedback through that enormous steering wheel as you stare ahead down the very long bonnet. And like a thin sheet on an old mattress, you feel every single bump, as you should in a proper sports car. Also, as you should in a proper sports car, it's got incredible brakes. From 60 miles an hour to a standstill comes in about 2.8 seconds, which is extremely impressive.
My brakes are worn out, but they're still
perhaps isn't as much feel through the brakes as the
phenomenal.
Let's get back to that eggshell business. Think about the difference it makes to the rigidity of the structure when you have the top on or off, and you'll understand why the coupe will outhandle the Roadster.
Yeah.
In the dry, those huge Michelin pilots offer enormous amounts of grip. In the wet, however, you do need to be a little more gentle with the right foot. The surface area of rubber on those tyres, combined with 321 brake horsepower, can lead to some rather tail-happy slides.
The car is very, very
In an age
rear
where
end.
BMWs have been accused of losing their soul, the M Coupe points to a rawer type of BMW that we know and love, but also
It
a
is a
car
very,
that seems almost to have been
very
forgotten.
raw car.
BMW have made themselves a muscle car. In these politically correct times, when even Ferrari and Porsche have started making cars which are well behaved and easy to drive, the M Coupe harks back to another age when sports cars would punish the foolish.
Yeah, it's not an easy car to drive.
BMW say that the M Coupe is a rival for the Porsche 911, but on paper that would seem unlikely. The Porsche is £25,000 more expensive and these days more refined, giving swifter, though arguably less involving and exciting performance. However, with only 200 of these due to be imported into the UK every year, the M Coupe may well offer a more exclusive proposition. Maybe the truth is that the direct competition for this car hasn't been made for about 20 years, and the M Coupe is practically in a class of its own, appealing perhaps to buyers of the old school 911s who like their performance fast and scary.
That's very true. Obviously, my car's a little bit tuned down. Get it tuned up to like how it is and how, you know, the car is supposed to be with the higher end motor, but I will get it there. But the car is very scary. It is very raw. It is very hard to drive, and it is a proper sports car. Now, I'm glad to hear that he likes the car. I'm glad to hear that from probably one of my favorite people to ever watch, that only good things. But yeah, I basically agree with everything. It's a very hard car, very raw car. It's a very inspiring car. It's very tail happy. Even with the massive tires, it has 245s on, and the car is like 6 feet long. But yeah, that was this video. The car. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.